I think we're good to go, right?
Yeah, we should crack on.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Scalebound.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Oh, hey, you went out on a limb.
1 week, dude. 1 week in my fantasy league, and it's fucking dead. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah,
I was like, that's a sure bet, right? Like, people like Platinum. This is probably Platinum's team that worked on Bayonetta 2. Like, yeah, this is going to be a good game. 1 week later, fuck! Instant.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious?
I totally forgot you put that in your fantasy league.
So did I. Till I remembered, and then I cried and died inside.
You're going to get your comeuppance for winning last year.
Yeah, well, I kicked your ass, didn't I? So. What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 31 of Podcast Reload. It's the general gaming podcast by some Sifted.net subscribers, where we invite community guests onto the show to talk about the games industry in all its weird ways. I am your host, Vin Hill, and joining me as always is my co-host and fellow Japan dweller, for now anyway, Evan Piotrowski.
Hello, everyone.
And joining us as well, all the way from the UK, we have Tomb Raiders from Sifted.net, also known as, of course, Liam.
From the homeland, Tomb Raiders.
The homeland. God, I saw a picture the other day of some beans on toast, and I was like, you motherfuckers, I really want beans on toast.
Yes, British gourmet dish.
Gourmet, yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, fish
Hey,
and
you'll
chips.
be, when you finally move to the States, Vin, the available Western food will just, man, you are so lucky.
Dude.
In that respect.
Like, me and my fiance were talking about it the other day. We're like, yeah, we're going to go to Denny's. We're going to go to Taco Bell. It's like just absolute trash food, but...
Just You're going to go to, like, I would say Target. Target's a good one for food. You're going to go there and just see the stuff that's on the shelves and how cheap it is. And you're going to be like, oh, my God.
And I'm going to send you pictures and be like, yo, dude, look at all this. Ha! And then you're going to die a little bit inside.
Actually, you could break me with a single picture of you eating Taco Bell. Like, I miss Taco Bell so much.
Noted.
They tried their hand in Japan. They very well might have a Taco Bell in Tokyo still.
They do.
I know when I went to Korea in Seoul, they had Taco Bell, but for some reason, a lot of those fast food places outside of McDonald's, they tried their hand in Japan and they just didn't work for one reason or another.
That's too bad.
The reason being that Mexican food is not very popular in Japan, unfortunately. But yeah.
Simple-minded people. No, I'm joking. They're not really. But
I'll
yeah,
just enjoy
I
beans
will.
on toast.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, talking about video games. We've got any community updates or anything? I don't think we've got any feedback, right?
I don't know. I guess the one notable thing is, you're going to have to change, or we're going to have to change the opening to the podcast, because this is our last episode where we're from Japan, both of us. You are. Yeah. I am not your fellow Japan dweller.
Not anymore. You'll just be the Japan dweller.
Yeah. I suppose you don't have to really say that anymore, but whatever. I guess it counts for something.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Liam, we got a game for you, man.
Oh. Is it a fun game?
No, it's terrible, and it's gonna eat your soul out from inside and then spin it around a little bit.
Sounds like fun.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're going to play Save or Kill. In Save or Kill, we take two things from the games industry. It can be a game, be a franchise, it can be people, it can be anything. And then you have to choose whether you want to save something or you want to kill it. But you have to know that if you do save one thing, the other thing will get thrown into the gates of oblivion. You'll never see it again, and it'll be erased from all history, and you're a horrible person for doing so. So this game is designed to really hate yourself, which is great.
Oh, great.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Cool. So number one, Mario or Sonic?
Mario. Save Mario. Die Sonic. I wish Sonic would die. Like, seriously.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy that you said that.
Absolute savage. All right, The Witcher or Dark Souls?
Dark Souls. Save Dark Souls.
All right, I think this one's an easy one for you, but Uncharted or Tomb Raider?
You know, this one actually isn't as easy as you might think it is, because
Your name is Tomb Raiders on Sifted.net. How is this one hard?
I love the classic Tomb Raider games, like all of the classic ones on the PS1, you know, although I played them on PC. They are great games. I prefer the new Uncharted games to the new Tomb Raider games, so I'm going Uncharted. Save Uncharted, kill Tomb Raider.
Nice. I didn't see that one coming.
All right, Brent, please change Tomb Raider's name to Uncharted's against his will. He's made his choice.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Okay, next one.
Nate Drake.
Fez or Undertale?
Undertale.
Cool. Next one. Mass Effect 1 to 3 or all the other future Mass Effects? That's a nasty one. That's the one I came up with before the show.
What you know of Mass Effect at this point?
No, this is everything.
Or the possibilities.
Yeah,
right?
So like Mass Effect Andromeda, Mass Effect Andromeda 2, Mass Effect Andromeda 3.
Right. Yeah,
or
the possibility
the
of what Mass Effect could be versus what you know right now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Your answer, sir. Your answer, I need it now.
Oh, the Mass Effect trilogy. Got to save it. Oh, man.
The original. OG.
All right,
Yeah.
you cannot purchase Mass Effect Andromeda day one now.
It's gone. It's all dead. Oh, that one's savage. Sorry. All right, last one. I need a good one.
Oh, I can't do it.
Hey, I destroyed everything I knew about the TurboGraphics from my. I wiped it from my
dude,
memory.
yeah,
so
I ripped you up from the inside. That was great.
I was surprised you did
It was
that.
awesome. I was able to do it.
You got to make the tough calls. It's rough, but you gotta choose.
Okay, last one. Half-Life or Halo?
Ooh. Oh gosh. One thing I do have is I've only played Halo 1 to 3. Oh, and Reach, but I haven't played any of the new Halos.
Oh, you've only played 3 Mass Effect games. Half-Life games as well, really. So.
I've played all the Half-Life games, and they're great, but I must say I don't think they age particularly well. Not like Halo. Halo lasts forever. I mean, you can still go back and play the first game, and it's brilliant. So I will save Halo.
Ah, nice. So, Mass Effect Andromeda is no longer coming out, guys, so we apologise for that in advance. Send your hate mail to Tomb Raiders.
I guess I will buy a Switch then.
You'll have to now. But yeah, speaking of the Switch, wait, actually, are we gonna talk about what we've been playing this week, or are we going straight in?
I think we're gonna skip that this week just because it's gonna be a bit one-sided. I think I'm the only one that's been playing.
Very true.
Playing stuff, and actually, I finished. Last time we talked, I was playing Dying Light. Since I've finished both Dying Light and the following DLC.
Has your opinion changed at all, or is it still at 6 out of 10 sort of feelings from it?
Oof, it might even get lower.
For real? Damn.
Yeah,
I haven't played the following, so it's interesting.
This is something that I might save for a topic, just because I have a lot more to say about that game. We could go into a topic about disappointing video games in general. We've done it in the past, but I might be able to spin it in some way.
Yeah.
But I have more to say on it than just like 3 minutes of what we've been playing. I've also been playing Skyward Sword. Just feeling a bit nostalgic leading up to the Nintendo Switch. I know Liam has some opinions on Skyward Sword, which is also something I could put into the conversation that I want to have about Dying Light in the future. So yeah, let's skip that and get right into the meat, as it were.
All right, let's switch to a different subject.
Boo!
Yeah, that was the worst.
Here
that was
we
the
go.
worst pun I've ever done.
Let's switch. You get it? You get what I did?
Yeah, I get it.
Wait. Here we go. Look, let's. Oh, that didn't work. Switch.
Reggie, is that you?
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Miyamoto, why are you playing Zelda in the background? You have something to... Oh, Nua-san, I had no idea you're going to be in New York for this massive event. Let's throw it back to Kimishima. See what he thinks about the whole deal.
Well played, sir. So yeah, as Evan stealthily mentioned, we're going to talk about the Switch. The event was obviously yesterday in Japan, last night if you were in America or whatever. So yeah, we're going to dive in.
Very early morning in the UK.
I know, I feel bad for you guys.
I had to keep my eyes wide open.
What time was it actually aired in the UK?
Oh, it started at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Jesus. Pick a
Did you
time,
stay
boys.
up or did you wake up early?
I did stay up. Oh god.
Wow.
Let me tell you, by the end of it, I wish I hadn't.
Oh, by the way, Reggie mispronounced Aonuma-san's name. He didn't say Aonuma. He said something weird. It was like Aonuma or something. Like
Aonuma. Yeah, I heard that actually.
So you could have got that right. I mean, come on.
Isn't
Anyways,
Reggie like fluent?
Wasn't ready.
yeah, I don't know. They just did one take. Like, all right, that's good enough.
Yeah, it's like Reggie was like, I got better things to do, and he's like flicks his hair out the way if he had any, and then walks off. Anyway,
well,
on that
by
weird
the way,
image.
when Reggie asked Miyamoto what he thought about Breath of the Wild, and he does the whole like Roman like thumbs down, thumbs up.
Jesus.
He goes from thumbs down to thumbs up, and I was like, I'm waiting for the GIF where someone reverses that, and it's the thumbs up to the thumbs down. Is that out there? That has to be out there. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, so we're obviously going to talk about the Nintendo Switch, our sort of impressions. We're going to do a bit of a deep dive into it. We're not going to go too crazy, like step by step or anything, but yeah, just overall, like how did you guys feel about the presentation itself? Like, we'll kick this off with you, Liam. Like the actual presentation, not so much like the actual hardware or any games, but just the overall conference and the feeling behind it and all that sort of stuff. Like, how did you think it went?
It was messy. It was pretty messy.
Yeah.
It was a bit all over the place. It's like it sort of flip-flopped from one thing to another thing.
Yeah.
It sort of started off well, but then it just sort of lost its footing and it didn't know where it's going. The structure was just all over the place. And
yeah, I think they were trying to make it. I think they were trying to make it snappy, but it sometimes it worked, but other times I don't know if it made it. But yeah, I know what you mean.
That commercial for the Switch that they released back at the end of October, I think it was, that kind of set a precedent for what you expected from Nintendo, just because of how perfect that advert was.
Right.
And then you just got reminded, oh right, it's Nintendo. We haven't seen them do a conference for a while, and this is what we expect from them when they do it.
Yeah. You're right, actually. They haven't done a conference in a while, because they've obviously been doing Nintendo Directs for the past, 3-4 years now? When was their last conference?
Time. Their last conference was the conference where they first showed... Well, no, the second, just before the Wii U got released, wasn't it?
Maybe, yeah. I think it might be right.
It's the one that ended with Nintendo Land, and everybody was like, oh, look at the fireworks, please,
yeah, so that's,
can't there be another announcement, Nintendo?
That would be 4.5 years ago then.
Damn.
Because the Wii U came out in December of 2012, so that would have been that E3, right?
Yeah. So overall impressions of it was messy then, Liam. That's...
Messy, yeah.
Messy. How about you, Evan? What did you think about it?
Yeah, it was a bit. It was messy, and I will actually agree with Liam that it was messy because at the end of the podcast, at the end of the presentation, I was a bit confused. Like, they just kept jumping around. Like, well, what games are for launch? Like, I almost think they should have done it in consecutive order. It's like, well, this game's coming out launch, then this game is spring, and then they jump to like holiday, and then they go back to fall. And at the end of the message, I'm like, I don't even know what's coming out for the system on the 3rd. Like,
I think that was the point, to be honest. I think they were trying to misdirect her in that respect.
But that just seemed weird. Like, let's do what's coming out the 3rd. They should have opened with Zelda, by the way, because it's not that E3 showstopper anymore. We've seen the game ad nauseum. Which isn't a bad thing because I think the game looks absolutely beautiful. Open with that stunner, what we already know. Get us, but then you build us up and then let us down, I guess. But I think they should have opened with that. That's a launch game. And then go like, okay, what's coming out fall or spring? What's coming out summer? What's coming out fall? And what's coming out holiday? They should have ended with Mario because that was like our last thing. Like, put us out in a high note of something new. Not just a bit more of Zelda, which we've already seen for the last 2.5 years or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we'll get into this in a bit, but it's like it started out, and like I was so excited for the promise of what that kind of cool trailer in October was, and it seems like Nintendo was going to get away from a lot of the stuff they've been doing in the past couple years, and then all of a sudden it starts going into slowly explaining about what each button does and here's a left. Here's the left shoulder, and here's the right shoulder. If you push I'm like, what are you doing? What? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! What are you doing? I don't fucking care about the damn buttons. Like, show that shit in the fucking treehouse. I was going into this. I'm working myself up. Vin, what did you think about it? I gotta compose myself.
I just need to ask you guys something. I'm going with the spirit of this like event being messy. How did you guys think that the event was actually over? Like, before they showed off the Zelda trailer, when they did like a montage of all the things you had previously seen, right? Like in the style of what Sony would normally do when they finish off their conference.
No, I was a little confused because what was the guy's name? The guy that was like mostly presenting it.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, and he was like, at one point he was like, "Yeah, my section is over now, so we're going to move on to someone else." Yeah. But that was pretty much the end of the conference. So it was really, I don't know, the whole thing was just weird in that respect. You know, like
when he said that and it switched over to a montage, I was like, "Oh, right, is that it? Yeah, is it over?"
I knew there'd be something. I knew they were going to show Zelda at the end. Like at that point,
yeah,
because they had to. And I knew, yeah, the whole conference was just a bit messy. I see what they were trying to do, but I don't think it got executed the way that they wanted it. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it just seems like they were so worried about how, or they were looking back at how they marketed the Wii U as the quote unquote new controller.
Yeah.
Where when they first released marketing material on that, they were saying, do this on the new controller, do this on the new controller. They never showed the system. They never made it clear that it was, basically they marketed it as a new controller that everyone thought is a new controller for the existing Wii. And I think they were so worried about their messaging with this. It's like, we need to take like 15 or 20 minutes of this conference, this presentation, and explain everything about this controller and what it does. And that's not necessarily bad, but I don't know. It just, yeah, it's like, I'm more concerned with the games and how this stuff works.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get into that in a little bit, because I have some stuff to say on how they actually presented the controller and how it interacts with the games. Like, I think that was a huge issue for this conference that is ultimately very disappointing and confusing.
Right. Well, speaking of that, we should probably move on to the things that we did like, So obviously the conference we thought was a bit messy, but when it comes down to the actual product, like what did you, because obviously the main focus in the whole thing was the Joy-Cons, right? That was the main thing that they're trying to sell, the whole gimmick of the actual controller, like the fact that it's a tablet that you can take on the go, but you can set up at home, or you can put it on your TV. So it's got this triple functionality sort of thing, which we were calling different things at one point. But what did you guys actually think about the actual system itself? Like, how do you have your impressions changed from it, basically? We'll start off with you, Evan.
In terms of the system, like, I'm happy with what it does. Like, I'm not actually too concerned with like 720p or 1080p. Like, right. If I can get a game that looks like Super Mario 3D World, which is what Mario Odyssey looks like, I'm totally happy with that. I think Breath of the Wild looks beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm happy with how these games look. I'm not concerned about those things. The Switch itself, I like the way it looks. I even like the SKUs. Like, you have the regular gray one. I actually like the blue and red one, just because, like, we talked about this pre-show, but no one said this. But I think it's blue and red because of how we color the magnetic poles, the poles of a magnet. Like the South Pole being blue and the North Pole being red, and it's got the plus minus buttons. The minus on the South Pole, the plus on the North Pole. Like, I think that's what they were going for with that. But it's weird, Vin and Liam. Like, I'm a simple guy, like, but I'm not one of those people who are like, who cares about this mobile stuff? I want a system just for me. It's like, well, no, you're not the only gamer out there. Everyone has different ways that they play their games. So sure. I'm glad that people have the option to play this how they want. And guess what? How I want to play this system there is an option for that, so I'm happy with that. I want to sit on my couch with the system in the docking station with a Pro Controller, and that's pretty much the only thing I'm interested in at this point. That could change in the future. I am probably never going to take this thing out. There's no party that I'm ever going to go to where people are going to be interested in playing these games. I'm probably never going to take the Joy-Cons off the system itself because I have issues with motion controls and I don't like them.
Yeah.
So yeah, the system itself and like if we get more Marios and more Zeldas where I can sit on my couch and play it with a Pro Controller, I will be happy. Unfortunately, as of March 3rd, there is a single game that I am interested in. But in terms of the console, like the option for what I want it for is there. So I think that's cool. And there is promise for other things in the future. They just didn't really show it to us. Liam, how about you? What do you think?
Evan, you mean to tell me that you don't plan to go to parties and get out the Switch and play that cow milking game in 1-2 Switch with everybody? I mean, what could possibly be more fun? Milking the cow, yeah. Look how much fun this is.
Yeah, it's yeah, okay. So before we get into that, Liam, like, well, how do you feel about your answer is no, not at all. But Liam, how do you feel about the console itself?
I mean, I do still have the problem with it being slightly underpowered, like in comparison to what it probably should be. But the controllers are great. The design, like, this is always a problem I have with Nintendo, is the fact that their consoles aren't that well designed. At least not since the GameCube, in my opinion. Like, the Wii was a white plastic piece of junk. Like, I mean, the console itself was fine, but like the design of it was terrible. It felt flimsy. I mean, the little panels at the top would always fly off, and it was just gross. And the the Wii U wasn't much better. I mean, those things gathered dust, and the colour sort of changed and became all yellow and manky after a while. Like, I didn't like both of those at all. And like, in comparison, I mean, it still gives me a lot of gratitude that the Switch's form factor just looks beautiful. It looks like a really sleek, nice thing to hold and touch and just carry around with you. Like, I really enjoyed that. I just love the way the Joy-Cons, like, just sort of... I like your, like, comparison to them being magnets, because they just sort of just pull off, sort of like magnets,
Yeah, I definitely think that's why they use that color scheme. It makes sense, yeah. And I think the system, I think we all agreed, Vin, when we talked about it with Burkhoff, Matt, like, we all kind of like the look of the system. Like, it's a sleek design, it's cool. It looks like it fits in your hand really well. Like, the screen size is good if you want to take it, outside of the house or on the train. Like, I like the look of that. I like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Vin?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, the actual console itself it's a beautiful thing. It's a nice, sleek little tablet. The controllers aren't too big, but that might be a cause of concern, especially for people who've got kids and stuff, because if you're going to lose these things, then it'll be a pain in the ass pretty much. But yeah, other than that, like, the overall design of it it's stunning. It's a nice little piece of kit. And it's something that we haven't seen from Nintendo in quite a while, I would say. Like, they've always gone for the more kid-friendly sort of design, and this is the first time it's like, it's grown up a little bit. So that's definitely a plus point. So that shows that they have a bit more forward thinking in that respect, that they understand that this isn't just for kids anymore. This is a lot of kids that grew up on Nintendo consoles are adults now, and they want that sleeker design. So they've sort of taken that into consideration, which is really nice. The actual functionality behind it, though, I mean, there was a lot of emphasis on the functionality in the actual conference. So how the Joy-Cons work and how you can detach them, play multiplayer games and stuff. But ultimately, I don't think I'll be, on a personal level, like, I won't be taking this thing outside. I'm like you, Evan. Like, I'm not going to be playing that many split-screen multiplayer games. But this is really a sell for kids more than anything, and that's what I sort of took away from this.
Like, at least it's there if you want it, kind of thing. Like,
exactly.
I'm not going to be mad that there's options, right? Yeah, like, we're going to be able to sit on the couch and play this thing.
Exactly.
So there are options. I just hope it doesn't.
I hope it doesn't lean on that too much.
Yeah. Which is what I think we were all excited about when we initially saw the reveal of the Switch, or it's like, oh, the gimmicks. There is no gimmick. It's either you play it on the couch or it's a console that's also mobile. That's the gimmick, and these gimmicks are not going to get it in the way of gameplay, traditional gameplay. And then they focused on. Do you guys just want to move into this then?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then they focus on fucking motion controls and motion controlled games. It's like, I thought we were behind this. Like, it's like they released the Wii U and it did terribly. I don't even know if it's broken 13 million units at this point yet. And it's like, oh shit, this didn't work. Oh wait, but the Wii worked. Let's go back to that. And it's like, what? No. That's not what you. No. Move forward. And just the more they started focusing on. Okay, here's the thing. Let me back up a little bit. Okay, so I'm a teacher. Okay, I teach English, and very briefly, if we're playing a game, how do you explain to a group of Japanese kids in English the rules for a game when they don't know what you're saying? You can't just say, okay, step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this. It's like they've literally understood nothing that you said. So you know what you do? You show them. You don't tell them. Yeah. You bring 3 students up. Let's just say you're playing a board game. You bring 3 students up to the class and you go through every permutation of the game. Like, if you land on this space, this is what happens. If you land on, it would be like playing Monopoly. Show them that you collect $200 when you pass go. When you go to jail, this happens. When you do this, you show them every permutation of the game. You show them. You don't explain it to them, so that when they're able to. So you say, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. They know exactly how to play the game without even knowing what you said, by looking. And something that they didn't do is show practical use of some of these features on the controller. Like, it's like, okay, I think it was the right Joy-Con that has the new like haptic feet, the haptic technology, like the rumble. I forgot what they're calling it.
Oh wait, so that's only in one Joy-Con. It's not in both.
That's only in one. That's only in one.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay, so one of them is it has the home button on it and the NPC, the card reader, the IR, not the IR. What is it called? The NPC reader, right, for Amiibo?
Yeah.
The other one has the capture button and the haptic feedback.
Oh, for God's sake!
No, wait.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and the IR. It's able to sense like the difference between rock, scissors, paper. Right. That's only on one of them.
Okay. So you can play rock, paper, scissors now, because we couldn't do that before without a Nintendo Switch.
So here's the problem.
I can only shake the ice cubes in one of the controllers.
Yes, in only one of them. So here's the problem with all that stuff. They show you all this technology is in these Joy-Cons, right? He does the ice cube thing, right? It's able to sense 1, 2, or 3 ice cubes. You could tell if there's water in it. Show me a practical application of that. You just told me that I can feel if there's 3, and then they show no practical application. Show someone playing a game to where they and how they use that technology. And then the other one, it's like, yeah, this can sense rock, scissors, or paper. And then they show us no practical application of the technology. Show, don't tell. Stop telling me that the B button does this and this button does this. And if you shake this, you can tell if there's ice cubes in it. Show someone playing a game. That was the beauty of the Wii. They didn't tell you had to hold the Z target button, and then when you're bowling, right before you swing up, you let the Z button go. They didn't tell you any of that. They showed someone swinging the control, and you totally got it. All of that stuff about how the buttons work with the motion came afterwards. The whole thing is like, how do you interact with this thing?
It's weird.
It's like, and they didn't fucking explain any of that shit. It's show, don't tell. And all they did is fucking explain one step after another, like what the buttons do. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
I was watching a little bit of the Treehouse earlier today, and they were playing 1-2 Switch, and like this was the only application I'd seen like that could correspond to the ice cube thing. They were playing a game where you had to guess how many marbles were in the controller. It looked quite fun, but like other than that, like you can't really think of any other application for it with any other game. Like
exactly, and which is, I'm sorry, this is
just another gimmick.
This is Wii Sports all over again. This is one application of the motion controls, and then the longer the systems is out in the market, the less people are wanting to use that stuff for their games. Like, this happened with the Vita too. It's like Uncharted Golden Abyss. It's like no one wants to fucking... Or like Killzone with the DualShock 3. No one wants to use the gyroscope to open like a valve. Like, no one wants to use that stuff. It's I don't understand how they don't see that.
Yeah. The thing with me when I was watching the conference, the whole conference felt like it was aiming for that Wii Sports market again, all over again. But the difference is it's not Wii Sports, it's 1-2 Switch. And that was their main driving point of the whole conference.
They're trying to capture that lightning in a bottle with all of, like, after the Wii, it's like they cannot get away from that idea.
Yeah. And hey, for all I know, for all we know, like in 6 months' time, you know, there could be all these old people like, yeah, have you heard about this 1-2 Switch? And it could be that all over again, you know, and they could be rolling in the money and they can completely destroy Xbox One and PS4.
Well,
and
no.
pull ahead. For all we know, you know?
that isn't going to happen because Nintendo's put itself at two specific disadvantages. One, it's not a pack-in game like Wii Sports was.
That is the point. Yeah, right there.
That is a great point.
And two, you're not going to buy it anyway because it costs $60, £40. Right.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
That was going to be my later point. It's like they have got this potential lightning in a bottle, but the only reason why Wii Sports works so well is because it was mostly a bundled-in game, and that was sort of the only reason why people bought the Wii a lot of the time. Like we know that for fact off software sales versus hardware sales, and they could have done that again, but it's a very strange thing. It's like it's sort of like if the Switch came first and then the Wii came later, that would have been more sense because it looks like they would have learned from it. But it's like they're going backwards in that respect, you know? Like they've got this gimmick which could really sell, which is really strange for me because I went in thinking that the gimmick was, you know, like taking the screen out and then putting it back in so it like switches back to your TV. I thought that was their main gimmick.
Oh,
but
yeah,
after this conference,
name, yeah.
And then after this conference, I was totally wrong. Like the gimmick is just the Joy-Cons all over again, and that's what they're mainly driving. And it's crazy to me. I mean, and they could catch that lightning in a bottle if it was packaged in, but it's not. So I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to push with all that stuff. But it's like you were saying, Evan, like show don't tell. But on some of the stuff they did show it, and then other stuff they just didn't.
Yeah,
like
when they're showing 1-2
thing.
Switch, it's like this montage of people in like different outfits, and the only reason you can tell what they're doing is like their outfits, they're farmers. It's like, oh, okay, they're doing some farming thing. And the other one that's like, he's got a samurai thing on. Oh, okay, they're kind of using the Joy-Cons as like katanas or whatever. And then in the background, you see the Nintendo Switch up on its little kickstand, and you can like, there's something on the screen. It's like,
you can't see
what
it,
the fuck? How do you play this game? You are not communicating to anyone how you play this game. And another thing that I like, they're like, you can play this at parties, and they have a picture of like a long table with like cheese and wine and all this stuff on it, and these people are like on this nice lawn, and they're on either side of the table, right? And the whole idea is like they're showing two people facing each other while playing 1-2 Switch. So it shows like a line of people facing each other with the table in the middle with like wine glasses on it. The first thing I thought of is like, these people aren't playing Switch. They're gonna knock these wine glasses all over the fucking table. Like, why did you choose this picture? Show the party in the background and just to the side like a patio table, and having them playing, you know, the Switch to the side, playing 1-2 Switch to the side, or just like people running around with sparklers. Like they're not playing 1-2 Switch. Why did you choose those photos? I don't know. Yeah, it's just.
It's a very mixed message in that respect. Yeah, I mean,
maybe I will say maybe they thought like we'll explain this stuff in the treehouse during the treehouse stuff.
Yeah, but that's not good enough. I mean, the whole point of a conference is to get your message out there and be a clear, concise message for all outlets, because it's not, you got to remember, it's not just like gamers that are going to this thing. It's not just Polygon. It's not just, you know, Kotaku. It's not just them guys. It's just like the Wall Street Journal is going to be there, like the New York Times, like, you know, people from major outlets are just going to go to this conference and then go home. They're not going to go to the treehouse stuff. And you need a message, you know, and they didn't, to me, it was a messy message in that respect, you know?
Yeah. I mean, going back to what Leon said about the whole, not only is some of the, how they cut this thing together messy, but just when trying to relay to the consumer how these games work in what context, they weren't
Right.
clear about a lot of that stuff.
Well, speaking of the games, let's move on to that. I mean, because I'm disappointed with the amount of games that were shown and what games were shown, personally. Like, how do you feel about it, though, Liam? Like, what was there anything that really stood out which was obvious to you that is going to sell well, or, you know, what are your thoughts on the game sort of lineup as a whole?
Well, to be honest, yeah, I think they like chose the wrong games to show up because they have a lot cooking. They have a lot cooking in the oven, but they like chose to show off like a lot of stuff that really isn't going to make you go, "Oh, I need the Switch right now," you know.
Right.
I think one thing that annoyed me actually, like, you know, because they show off 1-2 Switch and then they show off the game Arms, which didn't look too bad, but it's like if you wanted like that 1-2 and then 3 punch, you know, to really like, if they're going to be going with like the same sort of Wiimote thing, you know, just with better technology and still have that inside as an option, then I thought, oh, yeah, after they show off this Arms game, they're probably going to announce a new Wii Sports-like game. I was thinking, oh, I hope they announce like a Mario Sports game that uses all of that stuff. That'd be pretty cool. That could actually get some like casuals back in and go, oh, there's a sports game, but with Mario characters and stuff. And then that didn't happen. I was like, oh, okay.
But I guess some people could argue that is what 1-2 Switch is. You know?
Yeah, I guess so. But then the
Is
surprising
it though?
thing,
Like, I thought the whole point of playing a video game is to actually look at the screen and interact with. I don't know. I just
I agree.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's very strange that the gimmick is like making you not look at the screen. And I get like they're going for that whole, you know, if you're a gamer, you look into each other's eyes and all that sort of stuff. You know, sharing the joy, as they put it. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, and overall, the worrying thing to me is like, these Joy-Cons do so much, too much, one could argue. So with all the stuff they showed us, and they just unloaded all this information on what it can do, it's like, okay, this thing has seemingly, possibly a lot of applications. Please show us the applications of this technology. And they ultimately did not do that.
No. I mean, in regards to the games, though, like the only games that we really saw working and running was 1-2 Switch, Zelda. We didn't see any gameplay. But we've seen that before.
yeah.
To be fair, we saw Arms and how that works in depth. But what other games did they really show? Like why you need a Switch specifically to play this game? Like,
Yeah, I'm looking at Splatoon 2. They showed.
Which is
Other than that, it's just
yeah.
You got.
Now, Evan, have you played Splatoon?
No, I'm not interested in like
Not multiplayer,
battle arena, online competitive anything. So I saw that game. I'm like, I like the aesthetic. I think the characters are cool.
Yeah.
I'm not a competitive person. So yeah, it's like I don't care about it. It's nice.
Yeah. Well,
I know that
I heard a
Splatoon was
lot of
successful,
people-
but
I heard a lot of people like going, "Oh, cool, it's a sequel," and not like just a refresh of what they had before. Well, I'm like, no, it's just a refresh of the first game with a 2 slapped on the end of it.
yeah, if they took the 2 off of that, one could even think it was just a port. Seriously,
That's exactly
Yeah.
what was happening in our studio. There was a few people in our studio, and I was watching a live stream as well with Easy Allies on, and they were all watching it like, oh, this is the remaster for Splatoon, right? And they're like, yeah, I played that arena. Yeah, I've been in that location before. Yeah, I know that area and stuff. And then there's a 2 slapped on the end, and it's like, yeah, that's if people are recognizing locations that look the exact same, that's not a sequel. I'm sorry, but
No, it's
like
not.
they are cashing in on this one, and I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think it's really
thing as
poor
Mario
form.
Kart.
Yeah, like throw a deluxe on there, and then it's a new game, right?
They didn't
It's
even
like-
put that in the presentation.
Yeah, and the worst thing.
which is baffling to me.
The worst thing about all that is the fact that their little Nintendo army of fanboys or whatever will defend that to the end, say, no, it's a new game now. It's like, no, it's not. It's the same game with whatever hashed on the end, but they will defend it until the end because it's not a remaster, quote unquote. But yeah. I mean, just the overall lineup. The overall lineup for launch is what concerns me the most about the Nintendo Switch, more than anything else, because really all we've got is on day one, I think we've only got like 4 games. We've got Zelda, Skylanders, which is a port. We've got Bomberman R, which they didn't show at all in the conference, which is really strange because I thought that would have been a good selling point.
Weird, very weird.
Very weird. I mean, Bomberman is...
years.
Yeah, it's huge.
They focused on games like the new Shin Megami Tensei, which, by the way, doesn't have an actual name yet.
Yeah, nor any footage of the game.
They literally said, this has just begun development.
Right. So they go for the stuff that is probably just, like you said, starting development. They went for that in the presentation instead of showing all the launch games. And they just they moved that to like a really quick highlight reel. Or,
that's what makes me angry though about this whole thing. And it literally, I'm just blown away by the lack of content that they've got for this system lined up. The fact that the NX, quote unquote, was announced back in 2014, I think it was, back when they were announcing the DNA deal. It's like, how have you been working on this console for this long and you've only got 4 games at launch, 2 of which are ports? It is ridiculous. Like, we should not be...
That's the thing, Vinhill, is that you went through the same sort of, like, circle when you were watching the event. It's like, oh, look, this game looks cool. Oh, great. Yeah, another game to play on Switch. Oh, it's not a launch game. Great.
I mean, the fact that Mario isn't a launch game is gonna do some serious damage. But
dude,
overall,
not a launch game. That game is coming out in a year.
Holiday, 1 year from now, pretty much, it's coming out. Like, give or take a month.
That's if it doesn't get delayed.
Right.
Yeah, which it could well do with Nintendo's recent track record. I mean, it's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy. But looking at the games overall, there's some really heavy hitters in there. Like Splatoon isn't coming out at launch, but that could shift some serious units because I know it sold well on the Wii U. Mario is a huge game, and people were super excited about that when it was actually shown yesterday. But again, we're not seeing that for another year. Zelda's obviously huge, but you can get that on the Wii U. It's why am I buying the Switch other than 1-2 Switch, which is like party games again? Like, I'm not into that sort of thing, and I'm sure there's a lot of other core gamers that were watching the conference yesterday that don't care about that stuff. You know, they want Metroid, they want Zelda, they want Mario, they want just games that we love and that we want to play and why we buy Nintendo consoles. But the fact that they weren't there is absolutely insane with the amount of time that they've had to prepare for this conference. It's crazy to me.
I mean, they spent more time on, again, the gimmicks of the controllers and the games that use the gimmicks than actual, like, solid, regular gameplay of games. It's just, it's mind-boggling. I mean, basically, at this point, the Switch is Breath of the Wild and then the promise of possibly better things to come, which, I'm sorry, is not good enough.
Yeah, it's not, especially off the back of the Wii U, which tanked because of the lack of content. The fact that they've come into this, they should have been in this presentation yesterday and just been like, okay, we got this game, we got this game, we got this game, we got this game, and it's all coming out within the first 3 months of the game coming out in the launch window, and just absolutely hammering people with every single... I just don't... It's like they announced this thing a month ago or something. We'd never heard about it. That would have been acceptable, but we've known about this thing for 2 years.
Yeah, and then going back to Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, which I own a Wii U, why do I need to buy a Switch for Breath of the Wild?
Right.
Was that communicated at all?
No, not at all. Like, what is the difference between the Switch version and the Wii U version? They both look the same as far as I can tell.
Which I think they probably there's no reason to buy the Switch. Maybe frame rate stuff, I don't know. We don't know. But at this point, there's no reason for me to at least buy a Switch. The only game that's coming out for this system on March 3rd is Breath of the Wild, and I guess 1-2 Switch, and then some ports, at least in Japan, like Disgaea 5 and some other stuff. But
yeah. It's just it's crazy to me, like how didn't they bombard this console with, like a load of Wii U ports, like all the Mario games that were on the Wii U, like the Zelda remasters that were on the Wii U, like why aren't they there? Just there's so many games that were on the Wii U that sold well that they could have just front ended onto the Switch, because there's a lot of people that didn't buy the Wii U. So if you want to entice people in, and say that, even that would have been cool. Like Virtual Console, where was that? Why wasn't that showing up saying, hey, look, we've got GameCube games on this thing now. Like, you can buy GameCube games. Like, where was that stuff? You know, it's insane.
Yeah, I guess we can move on to that stuff. So, like you said, Vin, in terms of what they've shown us at the presentation, and then some information that has come out of the like Treehouse stuff.
Right.
Yeah, no info in the presentation on the Virtual Console, and then how even the OS works. We didn't see much of the OS. They showed it briefly when like choosing between two games, but we don't know the OS and how that works with the Virtual Console. They showed nothing about the Virtual Console. They could have shown us the Virtual Console and the GameCube games that are going to be available for it, and possibly when those games are released. We didn't see any of that stuff. No information on a trophy or achievement system. I'm guessing Nintendo fans don't care about that stuff, but it's important to me. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
It extends the life of games for me. So that stuff's not confirmed. It's just something that they didn't show. Obviously, it exists,
Right.
possibly, but we don't know. One thing that has been confirmed is no Street Pass and no Miiverse. So it looks like they're skirting their own kind of social media domain they're scrapping that for just what we know of SNS, like Twitter and some other stuff. I don't know how
think that's funny? I find that really funny when now the Switch is like that they're like making it more of a community based device. You know, more, you know, you take it to your friend's house and you both go on your Switch. Like, you know, all of those social features they're removing when now, like, you know, the Switch has more application for doing those kind of things.
Yeah, it is ironic. But they might replace it with something else for all we know. You know, we don't know. Like, yeah, they might be taking Miiverse out and stuff, but they might be replacing it with something a lot better. Like, they could have an integrated chat system and stuff like that, which they have on the PS4 and Xbox One and other consoles. So
they actually did announce that they are going to have like an integrated chat system and things like that, because they're actually launching an online service.
Right.
Yeah, and so Liam, please, if you know more about this than I do, please obviously correct me or give us some insight. So from what I've learned, or at least from what I've heard people talk about, all their online stuff at this point is going to be through like your smart device. Like for example, for Splatoon, if you want to do like online matchmaking, messaging and voice chat stuff is all handled through a separate device. That's at least what I've heard. I haven't heard that this stuff is directly like natively through the game.
If that is true, they are insane. Insane. Like, everything should be built in. Like, you got to remember, this console isn't designed for core gamers specifically. It's designed mostly for casuals and kids, and rightfully so, because that is their market, right?
Yep.
But
I can read this to you guys right now. This is from the Nintendo website about their online subscription service. It says,
Okay.
Nintendo also unveiled a new online subscription service that will begin with a free trial at launch. This service includes a smart device application available in summer 2017 that will let users invite friends to play online, set play appointments, and chat with one another as the play compatible games. Interesting.
But like, if that is like on top of what is already built in.
No, that's actually free, and then they say the fully featured paid service will be available in autumn.
See, this is it again. Like, why is this not clear? Why do we have to go and research this on their website? Why wasn't this shown at the conference? You know?
Yeah, if this stuff was through the operating system, like, why didn't they demo this stuff? Like, how?
Exactly.
Like, okay, here's let's launch the Switch. Okay, this is the start screen. Okay, we're gonna go to Splatoon 2. Okay, here's a match. Now let's show you how matchmaking works. Oh, a message popped up from my friend. All right, let's set a date. Okay, now we're in a match. You know what I mean? Like, show us all this stuff. But they didn't show us any of this stuff, and now we're like, well, is it just through the application? Can you put the application on the Switch operating system? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no one knows. And for all we know, it could be awesome and it could be great, but we don't know that, and that's the stuff that gets people excited, man.
I have a different theory.
If you're 2 months out, this stuff should be finished, you know?
Not even 2 months out, less than 2 months.
Go on, what's your theory, then?
I have a different theory. I don't think it is finished. I think they're still developing it actively. I don't think they've actually like decided how they're going to do it. I mean, come on, like saying that you're going to use a service through your mobile is just ridiculous. I mean, have they not seen PlayStation Network and Xbox Live?
I don't think they have.
No, they very clearly haven't.
That's the thing. Like, if you're like a 10-year-old and like, yeah, I'm going to go over to Billy's house or whatever. Like, you go over there, you got your Switch, he's got his Switch. And you're like, yeah, we had a great time. And then you go home, and like, okay, we're going to carry on playing. It's like, okay, I need to get my smartphone out because I've got that as a 10-year-old. Plug in my headphones or whatever and like speak to him while I'm playing the game. It's like, how does all that stuff work? It's like,
Couple 7, 8-year-olds. Oh, yeah, pull out your phone, launch the app. Let's get this matchmaking going. It's like,
exactly.
what?
Nah, that's not happening, dude.
Play Splatoon, mate.
But yeah, other than the games though, like the price is obviously announced right at the start of the console. The console price is gonna be $300. It's also gonna be samanen, so 30,000 yen as well. So it's actually the same price in both territories, which was a bit surprising to me. It's normally a bit more expensive in Japan.
Yeah,
same. The console price, like as it is, just the console itself, not talking about the Joy-Cons or anything like that. Like, do you think 300 was a smart move, or did you think it was needed to be lower, Evan?
I think one thing, and this is with all of this stuff, since the Switch reveal, I think we've kind of... The internet has created its own ideas about what this system should be and how much it should cost and all this stuff without any real information. So I think we're kind of culpable in some of the disappointment with this stuff. Because Nintendo this isn't a No Man's Sky type of thing. Nintendo didn't say anything about this. This is all leaks and rumors. Like every single podcast, there was always been like an NX or a Switch rumor every single week leading up to this thing. And so I think we've kind of built, and some of that's on Nintendo for not being clear about this stuff and not releasing this information earlier. And there's all these conflicting, rumors and all that stuff. But I think we've built this thing up to where it was going to be possibly disappointing with some of this information. So the idea that somehow the entire internet settled on $250 as a price.
Yeah.
Like, where did that number come from? You know what I mean? Like, and even I had said I'd become part of that. I'm like, yeah, $250, totally. But so as angry as I am about a lot of other stuff, when seeing the $300 price point, it's like, yeah, I guess so. A lot of people had said like that's their max. And and Nintendo didn't go over that, so I'm not too like worried about that price per se. But Liam, like $300 does not translate to how much is it in the UK?
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was just about to bring it up. Well, Nintendo are notorious for having particularly terrible conversion rates over into the UK,
right? And
it's very much true this time because it cost £280.
Jesus.
Which I'm guessing is closer to $400 than 300.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much precisely. Yeah, we get suckered every time with these poor conversion rates. I mean, the 3DS cost pretty much the exact same amount it costs in dollars still to this day.
I've just checked online. The conversion rate for £208 converts to $341.
Okay, not quite
that's
so
savage.
bad, but still
it's pretty bad
really
though, man.
Bad.
That's an extra video game there, Like that's it's a bit harsh.
Well,
but that is
looks
the
like
thing.
I won't be buying Bomberman R.
Right. But this is my thing with the price, right? Like normally $300 is absolutely fine, but the way I look at it is of a global market. So you're looking at other consoles of where they are at, how much they're going to be by the time Nintendo actually release this thing and stuff like that. So $300 for Nintendo Switch really isn't that bad. I don't think it's that bad. I think if it was $350, it would have been dead in the water sort of thing. But the caveat that we have to sort of take into consideration is that Nintendo are competing with Microsoft are also competing with PS4, and both of their consoles, their baseline consoles, are probably going to be under 200. They're probably going to be 200 by the end of this year to compete with this thing.
I've seen the PlayStation 4 lots of holiday sales and stuff. There's a $300 PlayStation 4 Slim with a bundled game like Uncharted, or so. I've seen that stuff.
Yeah.
Even cheaper than that. They've done $270. How can you compete? How can
during
$300?
Black Friday? During Black Friday, there was a PlayStation 4 Slim with Uncharted 4 and I think FIFA 17 on Amazon.co.uk for £220.
There's
£60
that will never happen with the
than
Switch.
The Switch.
4 years from now, they would never have a bundle that cheap for the Switch,
No.
And they might not even have a bundle for the Switch plus a Pro controller or something like that, because let's look at some of these other prices. Okay, let's run through this. Extra docking station, right? Which is what the actual Switch goes into, to not only charge but to is that how that's how you connect it to your TV, correct? Through HDMI? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
$90. Okay, $90. Pro controller. Okay? $70.
Which is ludicrous. There is no other controller on the market. No other baseline controller is even 2/3 of that price.
Like my PS4 controller is it's like $50, and it has like on sale on a good day, or bundled in, 2 controllers bundled in with Uncharted, whatever. Like that thing's got a touchpad on it. It's like $70 for that Pro controller. Have you seen that thing? There's nothing special about it. It's just it's just like a piece of plastic with maybe some rumble support in there. I don't know what other tech it has in there. It might have the MPC like Amiibo reader in there. I'm not sure. Let's move on to so you thought that was bad. Pro controller, $70. The Joy-Con set. That is a left Joy-Con and a right Joy-Con. Okay? $80.
Jesus.
And if you want the Joy-Con grip, which is what the Joy-Cons slide into, and you can kind of use it as a controller, which also charges the Joy-Cons, $30. So if you want an extra Joy-Con set with the controller charger grip thing, $110. That's insane.
Yeah. It's pretty it's the Pro controller which gets me the most. The Pro controller and the Joy-Con controller, because kids are going to lose these things. Period. Like they will. And when they do, and it's like, "Oh, Mom, I lost my left hand Joy-Con or whatever." She's going, "Oh, no worries. I'll grab you. No worries. I'm at the store. How much are they?" "Oh, $80. It's like, what? $80?
Mum has a heart attack and just
Mum has a heart attack, doesn't buy it. Buys them a Wii U
we should
instead.
say sold separately, they're $50 a piece. Right.
Jesus.
And then so Mom goes to the store and she comes back. It's like, "Oh, Mom, you bought a Joy-Con right. I have a Joy-Con right. I need the Joy-Con left because both Joy-Cons have separate technology in them. One has a home button, one has the capture button. I need the one with the capture button. I need the one with the IR in there. I need the one with the haptic feedback." Oops.
Yeah, it's all that crazy stuff.
If you lose a Joy-Con, like, okay, I guess I can't play Zelda until I get a new one, or half of a controller.
But on top of all that, the console itself, $300 is fine. If you're just a single player gamer and you're buying the Switch, and $300, that's all fine, good and well. But people forget that this is not a bundled console. You do not get a game with this. So it's $360 just to jump into this thing, which I still think that's a little too high. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we should really start aim to wrap this all up. But yeah, overall of the stats, there's other little details as well. There's only a 32 gig hard drive in there, which was heavily rumored anyway. There was no upgradable, but there is a there is a micro SD card in there as well, so you can upgrade it in that respect. So
which basically makes the console more expensive.
More expensive. Yeah, exactly. So if you're an old digital gamer like me, you're fucked basically. This thing's going to cost you $400 plus with a game, which is kind of ludicrous. But yeah, battery life 3 hours.
For 3 hours if you're playing a game like Zelda. And let's be honest, what other kind of game are you going to be playing?
Yeah, I think they said 2.5 to 6 hour charge depending on the game. Yeah, Zelda
which
about
means
3 to 3.5 hours. Yeah,
because they said 8 for the 3DS or something at one point. I remember, and it's always lower than what they say it's going to be.
Yeah, and
so if they say 2.5, it means 1.
Right? Yeah, possibly. And I will say, I was getting worked up about the price of all this stuff, just in general, because a lot of this stuff I don't really care about. I'm going to be sitting on my couch playing these games. I don't really worry about the charge. I'll just keep it constantly plugged in. I'm not going to lose a Joy-Con controller because I'm not taking it out.
Yeah, for us,
but this is an issue overall for the system that you got to think about the ways that they're asking you to play this system. this stuff is an issue, I think.
Yeah. All right, well, let's wrap this up. Overall impressions and, all right, Liam, are you interested in buying a Nintendo Switch based off this conference?
Well, definitely not a launch. I would like to say at the end of the year, but I'm not even sure whether that will happen. There's just a few things I want to touch on. Although I really think the system is overpowered, in terms of what it should be, and has a terrible launch. Probably one of the worst console launches ever. Come on. It is Zelda, but still, there's nothing else. Not until almost 2 months later, where
there's almost literally nothing else.
Yeah. And unless you wait 2 months later for a port of a Wii U game, which is Mario Kart. What was it? Advanced? No, Mario Kart
Deluxe. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not gonna wait for that. Well, I'm not. At least not patiently. But I will say that it breaks my heart even more by the fact that it has such a terrible launch when that trailer for The Legend of Zelda looked so freaking good. It was a great trailer.
Oh, I will. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That game looks absolutely stunning to me. I cannot wait to play that game.
Yeah. Have you guys watched the English version of the trailer? Because you're in the conference, they showed the Japanese version.
Yeah, the stream I watched was subtitled, yeah.
Yeah, I went and watched the English version afterwards with the voiceover and everything. I was like, oh, this is great.
But yeah, how about you, Evan? What are your impressions, and will you be picking one up?
I think, I've listened to Colin Moriarty, Jeff Gersman, a lot of other people, their reactions to this stuff, and it seems like the overall consensus is everyone was really, really excited about Nintendo turning a corner on bad launches, the third-party support, possibly the promise of doing something different, bringing the games to the forefront over gimmicks type of thing. And all of these people seem cooled off on this. And me and Shane Satterfield and Matt, what's his last name? Klein? Kyle, sorry. Matt Kyle on Sifted.net. This whole reveal or this presentation took a turn I think people were not ready for. And including you, Vin, I think we all thought Nintendo is turning this around, moving forward with this stuff, finally getting it, what we all want. And it didn't happen. And I think people are kind of taken aback that they seem like they're going back to the Wii. And another disappointing thing to me is just seeing how this all played out. The only people that Nintendo have marketed and convinced on this system are the 12.5 million people that already bought a Wii U.
Yeah. And that sort of touches on...
And some of those people won't be suckered again.
Right. So it's I don't understand how they're marketing towards the exact same audience. So at this point it just seems how are they going to sell more than what they sold on the Wii? Because they're not changing the messaging of this system much more than they did with the Wii U. Those people have already pre-ordered it. They're going to buy it just for Zelda and Mario within the first year. If those are the only two games they can play, they will be happy. The system cannot succeed on those 12.5 million people.
Yeah.
The Wii U didn't. I don't understand why they're doing the exact same thing. It seems like the Wii U all over again. I'm shocked.
Yeah, that was sort of my impression when I came out at the end of it. I was really, really optimistic about going into this presser yesterday.
Yeah, I was
really
giddy.
excited. Yeah, and I missed the Wii U, and I didn't buy a Wii either. My last console was the GameCube because the Wii U was a bit too gimmick. The Wii was a bit too gimmicky for me, and I was excited. I wanted a reason to buy a Nintendo Switch this year. I really did, but everything that conference was the biggest and best commercial that they've ever done for the Wii U. Yeah. Which sounds stupid, but it's totally Zelda, I can play on the Wii U. Mario Kart, I can play on the Wii U. The only game that they had in that whole conference that I had to buy a Switch for was Super Mario. And Mario isn't out until Q4 2017. There is no reason why that console is coming out in March other than Zelda. It's absolutely insane to me. And I thought the price was a little bit too high. The prices of all the individual different pieces that you can buy, the fact that there's no bundle, it's just the whole thing. It feels like a massive step backwards. And I knew that Nintendo might have like sort of not moved forward or progressed forward in their thinking sort of thing, but I never expected them to move backwards, and that's why I think a lot of people are stunned by this. And it's just absolutely insane to me. And obviously there's Nintendo fans out there that are going to completely disagree with us and say, no, they're doing everything right. They nailed the conference and all that sort of stuff. It's like, no, as a wider market, I don't think they did. The only saving grace that console has really got for me from what I saw from the whole thing was 1-2 Switch. If they figure out a way to bundle that thing in, or bundle like a few of them games in, like if you get a demo disc with it or something, that could be the next Wii Sports. It might be, because we were all joking and laughing about it back when Wii Sports was announced, and it could be that all over again for all I know. So
yeah,
that's its only saving grace. But other than that, I'm severely disappointed by Nintendo, and this is not a year one pickup for me whatsoever. And I really, really hope that they strap up their boots and announce a load of kick-ass games at E3 for the end of the year, so I can pick one of these up in Q4. But for now, this is not a Q1 console at all. I don't know why it's coming out in March, and I can't understand it. This should be the end of the year, so they've got a load of games coming out all at once. But
yeah, and I guess my biggest takeaway from this presentation is, wow, so looks like I'm playing Breath of the Wild on my Wii U.
Exactly, and that is the only game. That's the only system seller game that they've got right now, and they probably know that. And it's tough. It's really tough for me to justify to anyone to pick up a Switch.
Well, not at this point. And you know what? Look, it happened with the 3DS. Like, they turned that around. Nintendo is...
Oh, yeah. This is strictly year one stuff,
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, we're just... I think we're just talking about... We're talking about the presentation, because this is all we know about the system yet. We don't have it in our hands. We haven't played the games. We're just talking about what Nintendo presented to us.
Yep.
And in terms of what they presented to us, I think we all agree that it's just... It's disappointing. And the year one does not look good, at least for what I'm interested in.
Yeah, it's rough because Zelda looks like a phenomenal game. Mario looks amazing. Splatoon looks really fun.
Oh, yeah, when Mario threw that hat out and he jumped on it to get to the next building, I was like, that's
Blew
awesome.
my mind.
That's cool.
I was like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, it's like them games needed to be out in March, and they weren't. They had a lot of time to prepare for this conference. They had a lot of time to prepare for this launch, and they've dropped the ball on it. It feels like this launch, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope this console does really well. But from what I saw yesterday, I'm not really impressed.
You know, the funny thing about all of this is it makes that first commercial that they put out for the Switch seem really false. I mean, like it shows Mario Odyssey not going to be out until November. It shows Skyrim that's scheduled.
That's
for the
not
fall
until the
of
end of the year.
2017. Yeah.
Which
NBA.
I have to say looks terrible on the Switch as well. Like, it looks like the worst version by far. Like, I'm not just saying that, but hardcore Skyrim fans that are looking to buy this console, they're not going to buy this game.
Yeah, good for the PS4. I mean, the NBA basketball game, that's not even coming out until the fall either.
Yeah, they pushed that to the highlight reel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
It's crazy.
Utterly,
it's crazy to me.
Like you say, Vin Hill, like you say, it should have been delayed until the fall. They could have launched it like in November with a ton of games. It would have looked so much more desirable.
Yeah, they could have had an E3 Nintendo Direct absolute blowout for the system.
Yeah, would have been huge.
But can you imagine if they had Zelda, Mario, Splatoon, and they had sports games coming out all at once? If they were just like, all right, these are all the games that are going to come out. It's coming out at like the start of October, so at the very beginning of Q4, they would smash it. I mean, they would have absolutely destroyed it. They would have done really well. But the fact that this is coming out in March is going to damage it more than people know, and it's really concerning.
Yeah, I really think they looked at Breath of the Wild and it's like,
that's enough.
This is enough for what we're offering. It's like, no. I don't know how you guys sat down and saw that angle. No. And
unless you own a Wii U, which is the market they're basically trying to get to buy the Switch.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I'm excited to play Breath of the Wild. Like, okay, so I know this is getting a little long. I'll edit this. I'll figure this shit out. But like, you're talking to a guy who I played Skyward Sword this morning. Okay, I went to McDonald's specifically to buy a Happy Meal by myself and sat down in a McDonald's full of high school students that were looking at me. I had the full box, the red box with like the golden arch handle and the toy on my tray. A 31-year-old man, so I could get a Super Mario toy. I bought a fucking Happy Meal so I could get a Super Mario toy. And guess what? It's pretty fucking cool. I got a red shell, and it's got wheels on the bottom. And if you pull it back and let it go, it glides. It's great. I'll probably actually get, because they have some cooler ones. You know, they usually have like they show you like all the options or all the toys you can get. Yeah. In that little display case, like there's some pretty cool stuff in there. I actually might go and get some after the podcast. But like from what I said today, that this is a person that I am, and I'm just trying to be. I'm disappointed. Like I shouldn't. It should have been easy for them to win me over.
It should have been. Like they could have learned so much if they just listened to the community and how they were reacting to the Wii U, you know. But it just seemingly all this feels like it's a slimline version of the Wii U that you can take out of your house with less games.
The funny thing is like the leaks from Emily Rogers and Laura Kate Dale, like really oversold everything. Like.
Yeah, and some of that stuff might come later, but
yeah, indeed.
Yeah, of course they're going to be saving stuff at E3. Like that's
Smash Bros.
Obvious. Yeah, Smash Bros. Like a new Pokemon game is probably going to get announced, which is cool. But are they going to be out on that day? No, they're going to be Q4. There's no reason to buy this.
I mean, that might be at least in the next year. That might be Nintendo's last chance because the reveal of the Switch. It's like, okay, that was just a commercial. All right. Oh, okay, there's an event in January. All right, let's wait to that. And then we get here. It's like, all right, here it is. This is not what I was hoping for. All right, then there's E3. Like, this is the third chance for Nintendo to win me over, and it's like, I don't know yet.
How many chances can you give them? That's the thing. Like, I was watching the stocks, like, as the press conference was going on, and it actually dived a little bit. Like, they didn't go up whatsoever. It literally went down, like, their stocks. And it's like, it shouldn't be going down, man. It should be going up, period.
That stuff might kind of settle.
Yeah, it might weigh out.
Reposition itself, but yeah,
of course.
It's just the initial.
It's just the impression, you know. Like that's just like it's crazy. Like consoles normally, like companies normally jump up when they announce a new console, not dive down.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more we could talk. Like,
we could go on for days, but overall
those controls are too small. Those controls are too small, and if you hold them sideways, the D-pad is way too close to the buttons. I just had to get that out there. All right, wrapping up. I don't know.
I need to say one more thing. It's like the one thing they didn't make clear during the conference is that Xenoblade 2 is actually scheduled for this year. Never gonna happen.
Don't think so.
It's it is, but it's Japan only.
Oh really? Yeah, that might happen. Though. Yeah, good point.
So
they did say today that it's scheduled like for everywhere, fall 2017. I think it was.
Okay. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yep, exactly.
All right,
but yeah. Overall impressions are pretty negative from us. We apologise if you're a huge fan. You actually enjoyed the presser. It's just overall, man, like it was not what we were expecting, I guess. But yeah, hopefully we get proven wrong over the coming months, especially in the run up to E3 and the actual release of the console. So fingers crossed for them. But
hey, the good news is there is a brand new Wii U game coming out March 3rd. All right.
Zelda.
Yeah, it's going to be.
For half the price of a Switch.
Well,
coming up to the end
I would be feeling a lot better about all of this stuff if Mass Effect Andromeda wasn't wiped from existence.
This is true. Yeah. Well, it's your own fault. What'd you get?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll cry silently in the corner after this.
Yeah, might have to.
Well, coming up to the end of the podcast, just want to say a massive thank you to Liam for joining us, man. Thanks for coming on and sharing your impressions about the Nintendo Switch event. Really appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys. It's always fun. Even
thank you.
The Nintendo's like annoying the hell out of us.
Yeah.
It's too bad. And it is a bit of a downer, but yeah. Well, of course, thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. As always, we really appreciate all of the views and all the listens. I don't even know what to call them anymore. the plays, I guess. Yeah, sure. we appreciate all of our listeners, of course. If you do want to be on the podcast, like Liam has been today, just message us on Twitter. Jesus, why can't I get my words out today? Message us on Twitter. We are at podcast_reload. You can message us on there and let us know if you want to be on the podcast. Just let us know where you are in the world and what sort of microphone you've got and when you're free, and we'll try and get you on the show as soon as possible. It might be a bit rough over the next couple of weeks because of my transition over to America, but we should have some room to get you on there and get you talking about some video games, so it should be good. But other than that, do you want to give some sign-off, guys? So, Liam, what is your Twitter handle and any sign-offs that you got, man?
My Twitter handle is Black Liam Neeson.
It's a great one.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm named after Liam Neeson, so I thought, wow.
Oh, truly, not a just.
No,
you happen to have the same name.
I am truly. My mum loves Liam Neeson,
and
that's
so do
awesome.
I.
And I love my mum for giving me that name. So
it's a cool name.
That's a damn good mum.
Yeah.
So how about you, Evan?
You can catch me at the stand user on Sifted.net, Giant Bomb, and Twitter. And Vin, how about yourself?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I am at VinHillArt. You can find me on some of my finger paintings on there from time to time. I'm going to be posting up a hell of a lot more stuff over the coming months because I'm building up a portfolio. Because I've just left my job at Ubisoft. I'm finally shipping off to new shores, as it were. So, yeah, I'm going to be building up a lot of stuff. So, if you like art and all that sort of stuff, then keep an eye on me there. But other than that, guys, of course, you can find us on Twitter as a podcast as well. We are at podcast_reload again. And thanks for tuning in. We will catch you guys next time. Ta-ta.
Rest in peace, Scalebound.
Rest in peace, Scalebound. And Vin, I'll see you in a couple hours for a drink, lamenting.
There you will.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. See you guys.
Woohoo. Bye-bye.
I don't know why I'm excited.
Share the joy.
Yeah, share the joy. Oh, by the way, I love how the guy just wanted to show us how you relax on a couch. Really needed, totally necessary. Totally necessary.